Child, I've been talking to myself. Good morning, Amelia. Thank you for saying something. No, it's me. It's me. It's me. I'm sorry. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. I've been talking to myself for the last 7 minutes or however long I've been on here. But good morning. My bad. That's what happens when you take time off. You do dumb stuff. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, my bad. It's me. Good morning, though. So I took yesterday off because I told you guys how when I stopped my supplement that I've been taking for the last couple of months that I took for years when I was having hormonal issues. When I got off of it, I had no energy, like literally zero, zilch, nada, nothing for a whole week. Well, now my energy levels are through the roof. So I just could not fall asleep on time on Sunday night, like legit. Nothing I did worked. So I was just like, I'm not even going to torture myself by trying to get 2 hours of sleep and get on the chart. Like, no. And actually, I didn't go to sleep last night until probably like 2:30, and I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning. I've been wide awake ever since. So yeah, my energy levels have gone back to normal. Good morning, Trenches. How are you this morning? This one up, run up his freaking crazy pants. Yeah, it is. I saw we were already pushing new highs as soon as we opened. But once we got up to the high, we also touched, did we touch? Yeah. We went through the resistance level just a little bit. That's the second resistance level. The first one's at yesterday's high. So we hit the resistance level and just dropped, which you can also see on the time-based chart. So I'm really just waiting patiently. Her bananas are supposed to help you sleep. I cannot eat bananas. I had to stop eating bananas a couple of years ago because it gives me, this might be TMI, but whatever. It gives me like trapped gas, like bloated. I wouldn't even say bloated. Like my stomach just hurts really, really bad, but nothing. It's like I'm not gassy, but it feels like trap gas, if that makes sense. So I do not, it doesn't matter if they're green, yellow, extremely ripe. It does not matter. I cannot eat bananas. I had to stop. I wish I could eat them if it's helping people go to sleep. But yeah, no, I can't. It also probably didn't help that I slept in on Sunday. I probably slept until like 1 o'clock. So, I mean, I guess only being awake for 12 hours, I wasn't going to be sleepy by 1 a.m. But I don't know. It's all good. It's all good. Have to try one of these nights. Yeah, I definitely wish I could. But that was like the most painful. And I could not figure out what the issue was. And then like for whatever reason, I can't eat oatmeal anymore either. Like oatmeal just makes me super extremely bloated, which is so weird because I used to eat a half a cup of oatmeal every morning for years, but I just cannot eat oatmeal anymore either. My stomach's just all screwy. I'm just gonna blame it on age. Let's blame it on age. Oh, you know what? Oh, I'm waiting on the market to do something. I could fill out my journal for the day because I forgot to do it last night. But yeah, I think this is gonna, I think after this week, depending on how this week goes, I am gonna trade one of my Apex PAs starting next week. Last week was actually pretty good. I don't know, and I just feel pretty confident in everything. So I definitely would not mind. I wouldn't trade both of them, just one of them. But then at the same time, when I do that, I do need to start another eval possibly. Just so that if things go awry, I'm already working on another eval, if that makes sense. We still haven't broken out yet. $54.75. 308.64. I need to order another phone charger. All right. That's done. All right, well, that's done. You know what I need to do? Oh, we're at all-time highs, are we? All right, looks like we're gonna try to break back down on the downside. Just A-okay with me. Okay, never mind. See what a 5-minute chart looks like. Oh, yeah. 1-minute chart definitely does not look all barcodey like that. All right, I'll keep it on the 5-minute chart. Just because it has a better view of how choppy it is. Yeah. Let me order this phone charging. My phone is not charging. Oh my goodness. Oh, I meant to break even out of that. That's okay. I'm surprised that didn't push up. I didn't mean to get, well, I initially thought I was going to get into the sale, but the delta became inefficient, so I had to get out. I hit close all instead of break even. I was supposed to break even. I don't know why I hit close all. I genuinely don't know. But that's all right. So I'm down 185 per account. Stopped out to go. That's the story of my life nowadays. All right, a couple minutes, then I'll need to stop for news. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of shit irritates me. Literally from my entry, we went up 40 points. Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's mad annoying. Because this other news event says 903, even though it says tentative on Forex Factory, I'm just gonna go by that. So I'll restart at 905. I want to see something. That just pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. My charts might freeze, but it's whatever. see something. See what the news brings. All right, a minute and then I can start trading again. Good morning, Pred. How are you this morning? All right, so just gotta wait for us to break on either side. If you're just tuning in, I took 2 trades. I got myself out of the sale. I actually wasn't supposed to be in it, and instead of me hitting break even, I hit close all, the button next to it. So I lost an extra $35 there, but I lost on this counter trend buy here, which yeah, I got stopped out. It came down and then pushed up 40 points. How amazing. How amazing. Very annoying. That volume and order flow combination is one that works out 9 times out of 10, so I can't even really be mad at it. Actually, I'm gonna kind of keep us zoomed out until we break on either side. Oh, I'm freezing. My ears are cold. pullback. It looks like we're trying to break out on the upside. Maybe not. Good morning, Paul. How are you this morning? Man, this choppiness is crazy, crazy, crazy. I wanted to see something. Did I remove that thing? I did. Shit. I didn't mean to do that. Chart's just gonna have to freeze again. Great. Trying to break out on the upside. See if we can make it out. It's not gonna break. Why does it do that? Good morning, Janelle. How are you this morning? I'm still kind of waiting on a breakout. We're just still in this little choppy area. Just a quick recap for those who are just tuning in. I've only taken, well, I took 2 trades. This one was by accident. That's why I closed it, $35 in the negative. But I took this buy right here. This zone obviously wasn't a thing at the time. So I took the buy here, got stopped out just for it to go up 180 ticks. Yeah, about 180 ticks. And then we've just kind of been trading in the consolidation zone since then. We rejected the uptrend as soon as we made it, came back down inside. I don't trade all in here, so I'm just kind of waiting for a breakout. But that's literally it so far. Yeah, it's consolidating pretty heavy. Not a NQ sucks club. Listen, I'll join because I think it sucks half the time as well. Actually, I never even looked at yesterday's price action. Was yesterday better? Let's see. Oh, there was no news yesterday. Consolidate, consolidate. Can do nothing in there. Potential buy. Couldn't do nothing up there except the highs. I guess yesterday didn't look too bad. I guess I chose the wrong day to take off. Not fucking cute. No, I ain't gonna kick y'all out because I'm finna be in the club too. I might still trade it, but I think it sucks. I definitely do. Oh, now Paul gonna kick y'all out. It's always trash though. Not monthly meetings. It's about to run now. I don't know, Paul. It looks like it don't know what the hell it wants to do. It'll be at 26K by 11 a.m. Well, I needed to do something in 30 minutes. Oh, by the way, I had a memory pop up in my Facebook a couple days ago. And this is when I was trading ES. And at the time, ES was at 3008. How long ago is this? Did I not? I usually screenshot to show myself how long ago it was. I feel like it was like 4 years ago, maybe. Dang. What is the price of ES now, anyway? Oh, my goodness. Y'all are lying to me. Y'all are lying to me. That's crazy. ES is at almost 7,000 and I used to trade it when it was at 3,000. I mean, I'm pretty sure I probably got screenshots of it in the 2000s as well. That is insane. Wow. Wait, why do I have screenshot? Child. My niece must have took screenshots by accident. That's so crazy. Wow. You just passed two TPTs and nice. Congratulations. Gold is green. Nice turn on gold from 840. 2 contracts, $1,500 in 6 minutes. Nice. Paul is the new sugar daddy in the chat. Okay. Applejack's gonna get you. You know Paul is her sugar daddy. Not Uncle Buddy. Made significant gains in just 24 months. Yeah, I feel like this was it 4 years ago? Good morning, Diego. How are you this morning? I can't believe I failed to take screenshots of how long ago this was, but I feel like it had to have been 4 years ago. I could be wrong. guess we're just gonna stay in this choppy consolidation zone. How nice. How nice. How'd your trading go this morning, Diego? This is a hot ass mess. Let's see, that's a 10-minute chart. That's the 15. All right, look at this on the 1-minute chart. Oh, you guys can't see it the way I can. Hold on. Look at that. This is a 1-minute chart. Can you imagine getting stuck in this crap? I just don't understand. Don't understand. All right, this is back on the 5-minute chart, which is just as nasty. I'm really just mad that the one setup I had stopped me out and then ran up 180 ticks like it was nothing. $100 a butt. Ooh, nice. Fingers crossed I'll continue working on this account eventually a payout. Nice, nice, nice. Congratulations. How far, Diego, are you trying to build the account before you are you trying to go for the max payout instead of stopping right at the safety net to pull out 500? It should be Apex, Paul. Yeah, barcoding zones are terrible. I mean, the only good thing that I am grateful for is that I can see the barcoding before it happens, if that makes sense. Just because, like, when I draw the zones are already like there, and the zones are drawn based off of price action, right? So if you look and see, I mean, the zone wasn't here when I took this trade, right? Guy stopped out, like I said, ran up 180 ticks. But then when I draw the zone, so basically all of this happened like here. So I didn't even, I mean, obviously I drew it before we did this. So it kind of keeps me out of that stuff. And I feel like I had to draw, yeah, I had to draw a zone as well here. So we've been barcoding basically since I got onto the charts. So here is, so the other zone was drawn when the chart looked like this. So then came this little barcoding mess. We tried to drop out of it, created some more barcoding mess. So, I mean, that's the one thing that I am happy about. I don't really get stuck in it, but it's still very annoying. Especially when, you know, we break out of it here and I can see there's a high chance we're gonna go up, and I get into it just to get stopped out just for it to go, you know? But it's all good. Like I said, that particular trade does not lose a whole lot, so I can't even be mad. Now, I will say, and I forgot to tell you guys this when I got on. So one thing that I've been looking at again, and I would have to go into my journal to see when I stopped doing this. I feel like it was about probably a month and a half ago. I think when I started using the Trade Devils order flow indicator where I could see the internals and stuff, I stopped paying attention to the volume of the swings in, all right, I'll tell you in what capacity I mean. So I always look at, the current swing volume versus the previous swing volume. I always look at that because that's the only way for me to know how heavy the buyers or sellers are. Same thing even in the pullbacks, right? So if I'm getting into this sell, I'm looking at this volume versus this volume. I always compare volume of the same like swings in the same direction. But one thing I did stop doing was looking at, so if I'm getting into this buy, I stopped looking at this volume versus this one. And I think I have to put that back into my arsenal, because it kind of tells you the probability of a trend continuing, if that makes sense. So, all right, we're still inside of the zone. So like here, and this is how I interpret volume, obviously on Renko's, and to me it's kind of the same with time-based charts. But if we look at the way that the buyers attempted to push this time, so let's just pretend we're looking at the chart like this, right before this bar closes for the buy. So the buyers did not push very much compared to the last time they pushed up, right? Which means that the sellers are pretty heavy at the moment because we only got 402 volume on the upswing, but the previous upswing was 2.1K. So that lets me know that the buyers are weaker in this last attempt to push up before I'm trying to get into the next buy. The reason why that's important is because if the sellers are that heavy, and then we see that the volume on the downswing was high compared to this last downswing, that means that it's going to take quite a bit to be able to push up, right? Because the sellers are just way too heavy. Buyers are weak, sellers are strong, and then I'm trying to buy. So I was just a little bit too early. But I've taken that component out, and I think I need to put that back in because it's kind of the same thing like on like let's say I was looking to sell here, which I'm not because we just pushed back inside of this damn consolidation zone. But if you look here, the sellers are pretty heavy on the swing, 1.6K compared to 989. So that lets me know that on this pullback here, there's a higher chance for the sellers to get the continuation that they're looking for. So I just think I have to put that component back in and then I'll be fine with the swing scalp volumes when I used to scalp. Yeah, it honestly, like I said, I just stopped doing it. I could look, let me see. Because that was a huge component of mine. Let's see. I literally just stopped on 9/11. I knew it was last month sometime. I stopped on 9/11. I think I need to put it back. I do. So I don't know. We'll see. This weekend I was looking. This weekend I was looking over that a little bit. And I think that it will make a difference in my results because even though not looking at that has been doing pretty well, I feel like when I have those little times where it's like, oh, this is the couple of times that it loses here and there, I think if I just added that one component, it would be a huge difference. Because what I did was this past weekend, I ended up separating I separated the 4 different swing volume types, and then I separated it into setups. So trend pullbacks, counter trend pullbacks, trend divergence, counter trend divergence, right? And I noticed that on certain swing volume combinations, certain setups just does not work well, while others work just fine. Um, and it seems like it's a pretty significant difference. So, what I wrote a note to myself earlier was to make sure that today, when I am journaling the trades, when I'm journaling the entire session, that I make sure I include those like previous swing volume comparisons to see, because I think it's going to make a difference. I just learned today that we can get Ninja Trader order flow. I did not know that, Diego. Huh. I did not know that. I don't want to make withdrawals and leave the account without buffer. Maybe I'll get to safety net plus 1,000 and withdraw 500. I have zero idea first time. I feel that. I feel that. I think I mean, now that you've reached the safety net, now it's time to really think about it and figure out kind of what you want to do. Like, I already know that because of how long it'll be for me being consistently trading, learning the market, trying to figure out what works, what I like, what I don't like. By the time I get to the safety net on an account, baby, I will get to 2,600 on that 50K account and withdraw my 500. Okay, I sure will. Because to me, you know, you'll still have $2,100 of drawdown doing that. And if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, that 2,100 should be more than enough. So that's my goal. Get to the minimum, withdraw the minimum or maximum, I guess you could say, and then try to build from there, honestly. I have a range trade. I know it's not one of the safest trades, but I do make money with it. Oh no, I do have a range trade, but what I end up doing is like when we're trading in that range like that, I'm really only looking. So when I draw the consolidation zone like this, right, which it'll be here now, but when we were here, this is what it looks like. I only want to go off the bottom or the top. For now, I don't really trade on the inside. I used to trade on the inside. And maybe if I go back to looking at the swing volume, I'll be able to. I don't know. But we'll see. Because you can kind of see when volume starts to get really heavy, like here. Look at how the volume 2.5K on the downswing. We were still in an uptrend at the time. So 2.5K on the downswing. That's higher than this and this. We have a shallow pullback, 983 versus 1.6K. We dropped 40 ticks. So there are times when it'll work trading inside of it. I used to trade inside like as long as price was touching a level. At one point it didn't even have to touch a level. So I think that I've probably just in the process of trying to simplify what I'm doing, which I love simplicity. I think that I've also gotten rid of some important components that does not take long for me to pay attention to. Like it doesn't take long for me to see, all right, heavy volume here. Sellers are really in control. The sellers beat out the last buyers. They beat out the last sellers. So this is a pretty heavy sale. That doesn't take long to see. You know what I mean? So, I think if I just add back in that one component, I'll be better off. What lost connection on my personal account? All right. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, we're at the VWAP right now, middle VWAP level. You can see point of control is right on this sell rotation level right now. And I'm in the wrong screen. $30 points off. You did call it, Diego. I mean, not Diego, Paul. I need to do some homework, that's for sure. I need to read Apex payout policy inside and out. Yeah, once you get to the safety net or payout threshold, you can withdraw up to $500, and you can always withdraw up to $500 into the safety net. So it just kind of depends on what your goals are. For me, like the prop can shut down tomorrow. So if I'm at the payout threshold, I'm gonna take the payout. Even if it's just $500. All right, what I don't want to see is us push back into this thing. Is that still a 5-minute chart? Yeah. Why I have the hiccups. Now, this also, that's the opening range low down here. So we bounced off the VWAP and the opening range low, the 30-minute opening range low. I would like to see this bar close below the sell rotation level, but I don't know. We are pretty heavy, yeah. We're heavy on the pullback. 666, 3.8 was bound to happen. So when volume looks like that, a lot of times on this particular pullback, let's say we were to actually drop here, the only combination that really works out really well is if the point of control is in the wick of the candle, the sellers are in control, because we're going for a sell, and then the delta being efficient. So the delta would have to be red versus pink. It's like the only way that trade works out, and it works whether I'm attached to a level or not. But if the entry bar is attached to a level, it has to be like sell for at resistance, buy at support kind of thing. Aside from that, that trade just doesn't work very well. All right, we are back inside the consolidation zone. Only way I could take a buy is if we buy off the bottom here. Let's see, 3.4. And that was a heavy push up. I would like it to not be a 1-bar pullback. I would prefer for us to kind of pull back here and see if we can buy off the bottom, especially because that was heavy volume on the upswing there. I only got about 6 minutes left, so we'll see. I'm on a 25K account. Might just request. Definitely think about it. So you'll basically be left with, what do you have to beat? You'll be left with about $1,100 in drawdown. I mean, I would say look at your win rate right now, look at your edge right now, and just ask yourself if $1,100 is enough for you to keep the momentum. And if so, I would definitely take that $500 out. Pay yourself. Definitely don't want to get, caught in a cycle of account cycling, especially if that would bother your psyche, which it would bother mine personally. But you definitely want to pay yourself. You didn't work this hard all this time for nothing, you know? That's what we're here for, brainstorming. See, I agree with Amelia. And the biggest thing is it's a twofold situation, well, probably threefold situation. We don't know if the companies are going to be around tomorrow. That's any company, period. I'm not just talking about Apex, I just mean any company. But number two, like, one thing that I learned a long time ago is how important it is for you to pay yourself. Especially when it comes to any kind of business, and trading is a business, right? The only way for you to feel like you're getting something out of it is to have that reward at the end. A lot of people want to build buffers, and this is not to say that you will do this, but people will sit here and build buffers and still end up blowing the account. And it's like, you had like 3 or 4 payouts on that account that you did not take because you wanted to build this buffer. Whether it's because you want to be one of those people who get this huge payout from Apex or whatever company, whatever the reason is, pay yourself. There's no difference in taking 5 $500 payouts than one $2,500 payout. $2,500 is 2,500. You know what I mean? Now, if you're somebody who has a strategy that doesn't have great edge, you go on losing streaks, or maybe you have good edge, but your psych sucks and you are always going on tilt and things like that. Well, if that's the case, you definitely need to take your money out, right? Because there's a high chance that you're going to end up blowing the account because your mind isn't right. But even if you have everything great, you have a great strategy, your psych is on point, you still have to have that reward of paying yourself. Otherwise, what's the point? Or it could be a tech issue. You can build up a buffer and have some kind of tech issue and your account's not restored. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen. But at least if something happens and you got your money out of that account, it won't bother you as much. It's still going to bother you, but it's not going to bother you as much. Oh, all right. I got to wait for another pullback. This is not the divergence pattern that I like. Sell, buy, sell. I hate when I do that. Lower low to higher high to lower low. I look at it like sell, buy, sell. That's the quickest way for me to look at things. But yeah. And learn from our lessons. Exactly. And you don't want to churn and burn. Exactly. I'm happy you shared it with us too. Get that payout and just build from there. Seriously. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, oh, shoot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Hold please. I'm just gonna find the video and it'll make things way easier. I'm looking for a specific video. I don't think that's the right video. Here's a video that I actually watched. Because it wasn't on his channel, I don't think. Let me switch my YouTube account while I wait for this pullback. Pretty sure I have it in my other YouTube account. Boom, there it is. All right, this is the video right here. If I can find my mouse. Oh, here we go. All right, look up profit first. And oh shoot, I don't even know why I just did that. Look for the one from the channel Printavo, and it's Profit First with Arthur Mike. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I specifically like this one because he goes into like how he developed the system. Basically, he was he had a business, and basically he was not paying himself out of his business. Essentially, that's the everything in a nutshell. Wasn't paying himself, and ended up, well, he was paying himself but not enough, basically. And he was making the mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs do, which I even did this in my own business, where I was reinvesting too much of my profits back into my business versus paying myself some of it. And some of the reinvestments were not needed, if that makes sense, or you're just keeping the money in your bank account, for a rainy day per se, but you still have to pay yourself first. And so the beginning of the video, it's an hour and some change. The beginning of the video, he goes through and this actually just pissed me off because I would have taken this trade if it wasn't 9:45. He explains how he came to develop the system, all of the backstory or whatever, and then the rest of it he's explaining the profit first system. And he basically goes into it, and I'm going to end up doing this when I start getting payouts and stuff, but he has basically 5 bank accounts, One of them is just the account that all of his income comes into. And then the other four are separated. And so he separates them based off of percentages. Like there's an operating expense account, there's an account for paying yourself, there's another account where you accumulate that percentage for like 3 months, and every 3 months it's like a profit share kind of thing. So you pay yourself out of that. Um, but he basically has been cash flow positive in his business ever since. And one of the things, like when he talks about like the psych part of it, where when you are paying yourself and you're getting that reward, it makes you work even harder. It makes you want to be consistent with your results. And I think in that particular video, I don't think it was this other one, but I think in that particular video, he asked this guy who was a business owner, like, who's the hardest working employee in your business? And he basically was saying, like, 100% of the time, every business owner is going to name an employee instead of naming themselves. And he's like, I can bet you that you work harder than anybody else in your business, between the systems you have to put in place, the people you have to hire, all of the back end things that you have to do to even get your business off the ground. But you always name somebody else other than yourself. And part of that subconsciously is why a lot of business owners don't pay themselves, or don't pay themselves enough, because they're too worried about everyone and everything else when you still have to worry about yourself. But yeah, you let me know how you like that video. Um, but he has a really good system in place, for real. He really, really does. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys my accounts. There's nothing to really talk about. Like I said before and multiple times, I only took those 2 trades. The one I wasn't supposed to be in, which is why I closed all. But here's what we're looking like. So just down 185 per account. And I still have $1,800 in drawdown left on both accounts. Honestly, I'm not really that mad, for real, mainly because today just was such a choppy day that, number one, I stayed out of the majority of the chop. And I'm even going to say I stayed out of all of the chop, because when I got stopped out of that trade, price ran 180 something, I think 184 ticks. So yeah, I can't be mad. To be such a choppy day and only lose less than $200 per account, I'll take it, especially because it was only supposed to be like 150. So I'll take it. What's the name of the video? Oh, let me open it back up. I got you, Pred. Actually, I'm gonna just post the link. Duh. Let me see. I'm a little slow sometimes, y'all. Don't blame me. Profit. Because I think he has like a video on his own channel as well, but this is the one I specifically watched. So I don't know if he goes into the backstory on the other video as good as this one. Oh, you posted on Discord? Good. Good, good, good. I'll post it in here as well. Oh, I guess I have to switch accounts. Hold, please. But yeah, it's about an hour and a half. You could watch it at like 1.5 speed, 1.25, just to speed it up a little bit. But it really is a good video, a really good video. All right, here we go. All right, there's the video right there. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go journal. Like I said, I'm really focused on looking at the volume of the swings thing again, because I really feel like that might be the last little missing component of this. Because so that trade that I just lost, right? If I go to what I was looking at this weekend with the volume of the swings, and I was showing you guys how like that volume was showing that the sellers were pretty heavy. And so looking at what the trade that I actually ended up taking, let me see. Yeah, there's with that volume and order flow pattern, I think that's where a lot of my losses with that particular pattern even comes from. Legit. Now, on other volume patterns of the swings, that volume and order flow pattern works perfectly. So I really do think I have to start paying attention to that again. So I'm going to work on that today with the little bit of time that I do have. But yeah, they're asking for your trading strategy now. I think it's because you reached payout. Are you talking about this? Hold on. I'll log into mine real quick. Just see. If I'm not mistaken, they ask everybody once you get to payout threshold. That's why they have the little part. No. That's why they have the little part where you can actually fill it out before you get to that point. Hold on, I have to get my authenticator. Where is it at? Are you talking about this screen? Right here? Oh, okay, yeah. They've had this here for a little minute, and I did see that Apex has actually changed some things in their back office, which is actually pretty nice. But anyway, so yeah, they kind of suggest that people just go ahead and fill it out ahead of time. That way, if they do send you requesting your trading strategy and stuff, that you'll already have it there where you could just pretty much copy and paste. But yeah, this part has been here for a little minute now. I can't remember exactly when I noticed it, but I know it's been there for a minute. I do think that this new screen on the dashboard is pretty cool. This part here, I think this is pretty cool that they have this now. They've been trying to make some updates. It's just funny to me that in their lawsuit with the guy who used to be over, I guess, the tech stuff or whatever, all this proprietary this, and I'm just like, that back office sucks. They should get rid of it ASAP. Everybody hates it. I don't know anybody that likes this thing on back office. But yeah. Yeah, just fill it out. You don't even have to, even when they request it themselves, you don't have to be like, hey, like I would not have to go through and say, oh, the way I trade is this. If volume looks like this and order flow looks like this, and this is a counter trend pullback, I do this. Like you don't have to go into great detail like that. But you have people that are like, oh, they're just trying to steal your strategy. What are you talking about? Apex Investing has been out with the same strategy for so long. They don't want your strategy. They just want to make sure that you actually have a strategy, because they've caught so many people with the copy trade and stuff. That's all. But yeah, just fill that out. You'll be all right. But yeah, you guys, I'm out of here. I thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Sorry I couldn't take very many trades. It's not my fault. The market sucked today. Okay. But yeah, the still in the strat thing, it is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Seriously. No, but for real. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.